In the quaint town of Westfield, nestled in New Jersey, Elm Street holds a menacing secret. The year is 1832, a time when superstition still lingers like an uninvited shadow. The streets, cobblestone and slick with rain, reflect the dim, trembling glow of oil street lamps. The air is laden with the earthy scent of wet leaves and something else, something metallic, foreboding. The townsfolk whisper of the chilling occurrences on Elm Street, tales now shared only in hushed tones. A family once lived in the grand, Gothic house at the street's end, the Page family. They were a respected clan, known for their generous charity, yet eerie rumors clung to their name like persistent specters. Terrence Page, the patriarch, was particularly enigmatic, often seen late at night pacing the widow's walk of their large home. Many speculated on why the man seemed constantly tormented. His 3 children were rarely seen outdoors, their ghostly faces only appearing at dusk as they moved from shadow to shadow, whispering secrets no one would ever hear. One monochromatic morning, when the fog hung particularly thick and heavy, a passerby noticed something amiss at the Page residence. Cautiously, the townspeople gathered at the house, their unease an unspoken bond. What they uncovered inside sealed Elm Street's fate in macabre history. In the parlor where vibrant social gatherings once warmed the space lay the entire Page family. Lifeless bodies arranged meticulously around the room, their eyes reflecting horrific tales never to be spoken. Their skin, pallid, seemed undisturbed, yet all bore expressions of profound terror. There was no sign of struggle or intrusion, no apparent cause of death. As the sun withdrew behind thickening clouds, the town marshal began his futile investigation. Finding not a single clue or testament to a mortal hand, whispers of a curse began to weave through the town, infecting the very air. Theories flourished like weeds in the dark. Demonic possessions, wrath of spurned spirit, revenge from beyond. The house on Elm Street now stood silent, no longer a home. Those few brave enough to pass it spoke of soft murmurings and shadowy figures glimpsed in upper windows. Children dared each other to run to its door, their laughter betraying the fear clutching their throats as if expecting the windows to spill the cries of the unsaved. Locals would slowly move away, and Elm Street would become a somber ghost of memory, so entwined with history that the real story blurred within the legends. Yet, on certain nights when the fog rolls in thick and the air whispers tales of the past, visitors claim the Pages still haunt Elm Street, their story a perpetual echo in a town unwilling to remember.
Stranger nights lurk deep when mysteries unfold from shadows of the unknown. Picture this, a small, forgotten town where wind whispers secrets no one dares to hear. Here, buried under decades of neglect, stands an old, creaking mansion, said to house a sinister myth. One stormy night, braver or perhaps foolish, souls ventured into the mansion. Among them was 17-year-old Jack, thrill-seeker and skeptical by nature. Armed only with flashlights and their fearless glee, they crossed the threshold of cobweb-infested corridors. Each step echoed the chill in their spines, yet the air stood still, almost watching, waiting. As Jack roamed further, his curiosity led him to a hidden alcove, dusty, yet astoundingly intact. In its midst stood a large, fantastical mirror, its frame ornate with cryptic symbols. Drawn to its menacing allure, Jack reached out his hand. As fingertips brushed the glass, darkness spilled like ink, enveloping him swiftly into its grasp. Emerging from the chilling depths, Jack found himself not in his world, but trapped in the macabre tales of the mansion. His cries for help echoed faintly, drowned by sinister cackling from twisted reflections within the unforgiving glass. Each tale he encountered drew closer to an ending none have returned to speak of. Beware, for these tales don't merely unfold, they hunger. Curious souls trapped in the mirror stay for eternity, becoming part of its chilling saga. If you hear whispers when darkness falls, take heed. It may be your shadow, casting its first steps into the depths of the cryptic unknown. The tired mansion stands waiting for the next thrill-seeker, spellbound by its deadly tales. Will that soul be you?
The story unfolds in a dim, rural pocket of 1970s Texas, where the air hangs heavy with the scent of pine and rotting leaves. It's a pitch-black night, the kind where starlight fails to breach the canopy of the forest. The remote, dilapidated farmhouse is silent, except for the creaking shutters whispering in the wind. Our main character, Ellie Morgan, an intrepid and curious young journalist fresh from college, has been drawn to this secluded stretch by rumors of ghostly apparitions. The local folklore speaks of tragic disappearances linked to a notorious family, the Sawyers, shrouded in mystery and horror. Ellie's goal is to investigate the real origins of the myth that has spawned tales of the gruesome Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Equipped with her leather-bound journal and a small flashlight, she steps into the shadows of the night, determined to unravel the truth. As Ellie navigates the grotesque remnants of the Sawyer household, an uneasy chill seeps through her. The smell of something metallic and rancid coils its way into her senses. Her flashlight flickers ominously, casting wavering shadows that dance across peeling wallpaper and overturned furniture. Amongst the debris, Ellie discovers a hidden door covered in grime and obscured under a tapestry of cobwebs. Her heart races as she forces it open, exposing a narrow staircase that descends into darkness below. At the basement's core, Ellie finds herself amidst an eerie collection of antiquities, rusted chains, and splintered wooden tools. Her heart pounds as she picks up an old leather mask. Despite her fear, she senses it's the key to understanding the haunting truth. Suddenly, a cold gust extinguishes her flashlight. Ellie stands in utter darkness, the silence broken by a distant, yet unmistakable motor hum, the sound of a chainsaw coming to life. Frantically, Ellie fumbles for her flashlight, but her fingers betray her. The chainsaw growls closer, and she realizes she's trapped in a chilling reenactment of the folklore she sought to disprove. Understanding the undeniable danger, she finds strength in her purpose. Holding on to the mask, she backs slowly, cautiously navigating the pitch-black room until the hum fades into oblivion. Finally, when a morning light breaks the forest canopy, Ellie emerges from the farmhouse, her journal richer with a story unimagined. She carries the mask, a relic of both fear and truth. Securing the tale that the true horror of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not just a legend, but a deeply buried reality, tethered to the chilling specter of the past. With her escape, Ellie is haunted but resolute, determined to bring light to the shadows that envelope the Sawyer legends, ensuring their story is neither forgotten nor misbelieved. It was in those echoes of cold steel and leather masks where fear, indeed, found its home.
Staring into the old TV, you can't shake this feeling. You're not alone. Suddenly, a bone-chilling voice slithers out from under the static. "Welcome, fools!" Aghast, you realize the archaeologist we watched, buried alive in last week's episode, we're in his crypt. Echoing shrieks consume your senses as the shadows warp into grotesque figures. The walls breathe heavily, pulsing against the inky darkness. From nowhere, a mirror swings into view, reflecting not just your pale face but a skeletal companion musing beside you. "I thought I'd be alone here." You lurch away, only to find clay statues watching you from every hidden corner of the room, eyes glimmering under the dim glow. The skeletal figure grips its bony knees in unsettling anticipation. This isn't a fabricated storyline we're used to from Tales of the Crypt. this is real. The TV screen glows ominously. The crypt's host appears and cackles. Real enough for you. My turn to pick the role, whispers the spectre. It eyes the ancient sarcophagus you're now becoming all too aware of. With dread flooding your veins, you move imperceptibly closer to this horrifying parallel reality. A dangerous pull clinging at your every second. A draft sweeps through, scattering unseen leaves across the crypt undone, whispering secrets collected only in the dead of night. Then the TV clicks off. Your living room surrounds you, grey morning light filtering through serene silence. You're alone again, heartbeat static against inside walls. A haunting memory of the televised crypt lingers, air cold with secrets yet untold. A chilling conclusion. Was it an episode, or were you the episode? Unearthly screams echo from the basement at $0 rent. It was always too good to be true. Crazy footsteps rustle, a warning from beneath wooden creaks that tremor under naive feet. The neighbors spoke of an eccentric owner, one shunned long ago. Yet the presence lingers in shadows, watching, waiting. In the moonlit silence, the mirrors reveal not just reflections but memories. Things grow cold, not from drafts, but from spirits wandering inside these walls. It's as if the crypt itself spawned tales of its own. Imagine you hear a whisper, brush your earlobe, claiming that curiosity kills not just cats. Tales spun about an antique chest, tucked in the farthest corner, are told in wary glances, glistening with terror, and true, every soul who dared open it never returned the same. Or at all. As the floorboards tap to a rhythmic ghostly beat, embossing secrets sealed forever, the crypt keeper's most prized possession holds the scariest story yet yours. When you awake from these nightmares, beads of sweat freeze in place as a dreadful truth unfolds. Each tale, more spine-chilling than the last, was meant not to be ignored, but to haunt the living daylights out of you. But there's only one way out, a risk, a gamble with fate. You must unearth what lies in that chest. Be ready to face your fears, for in that dim detestation might be confrontation. Confrontation with stories forgotten, identities erased, and complexity veiled in simple, cursed tales. The crypt has spoken, its silence deafens, as you wonder if your story will be the next spoken through whispers on cool, eerie nights.
The real Amityville horror case wasn't just about a haunted house. It was about a family that fled their dream home after only 28 days because of what they claimed was pure evil. In 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his entire family in their Amityville home while they slept. 6 people dead in their beds, all shot with a rifle. The neighbors heard nothing. No one woke up during the massacre. That should have been the first red flag. A year later, the Lutz family bought the house for dirt cheap because of its dark history. They thought they could handle it. They were wrong. From day one, George Lutz started waking up at 3:15 a.m. every single night. The exact time the murders happened. Doors would slam shut on their own. Cold spots appeared randomly throughout the house. Their daughter started talking to an imaginary friend named Jody, who she claimed was a pig with red eyes. The Catholic priest they brought in to bless the house got violently ill and heard a voice telling him to get out. Swarms of flies appeared in the dead of winter. George's personality completely changed. He became obsessed with the fireplace and chopping wood, even in freezing weather. After 28 days of escalating terror, the family packed their belongings and left in the middle of the night. They never returned, not even to collect their furniture. The house still stands today. Multiple families have lived there since, and while some report minor incidents, nothing has ever matched what the Lutz family experienced. Makes you wonder if the evil followed them instead of staying in the house.
The town of Driftwood Hollow had a reputation. Tucked away on the moody coast of Maine, with gnarled trees and ever-present fog, it was a place colonized by whispers. Dark whispers, some said, carried on the chilly breezes from the brooding sea. Outsiders would often feel an inexplicable chill upon stepping foot in the town, as if the shadows themselves were watching. Lila Stein was 11 when her family moved into the Old Thorn Estate, a mansion with a past as cryptic as it was long. The locals steered clear of the Old Thorn grounds, muttering about strange occurrences and tales of the spirits of the sea. But to Lila, it was just a new adventure. One night, as the clock struck 12, Lila was awakened by a whispering sound. It wasn't coming from her room nor the hallway. It seemed to echo from the walls, as if the old manor itself was speaking. She shivered, a coldness seeping into her blankets, and decided to find the source of the sound. With each step through the dim corridors, the whispers grew more distinct, yet indecipherable. Shadows danced around her, distorting the familiar into something eerie and twisted. Her flashlight beam trembled against the walls, claw-like figures darting away just out of sight. Guided by the relentless murmur, Lila discovered a hidden door at the end of a hallway, one she had never noticed before. Her heart pounded as she pried it open, revealing a narrow staircase spiraling down into inky darkness. "Descend," the whispers urged. Compelled, Lila descended, the air thinning and chilling as she moved downwards. The whispers crescendoed, overlapping in a cacophony, as if urging her onwards towards some terrible revelation. At the bottom, she found herself in an ancient cellar, the walls glistening wet. There, she saw them, the figures. They neither moved nor breathed, their forms heavy with the weight of ages. Their eyes, dark and endless, bore into hers. "Welcome, sister," they hissed in unison. Lila's world reeled as the truth crashed upon her, a lineage bound to the sea, trapped between worlds, guardians of secrets older than Earth itself. Screaming, though no one above could hear, she felt herself drawn deeper into Driftwood Hollow's fatal embrace. The darkness consumed her, as it had done to others before. No trace remained but whispered legends of the Thorn's air, forever bound to keep the murmurings of the deep, dark sea at bay, lest they engulf the world entirely. Driftwood Hollow, haunted both by its past and its newest whispering ghost, remains shrouded in mystery, a testament to the spectral sea's insatiable hunger.
The hum of the airplane engine was the only sound that accompanied the dozen nervous passengers on their midnight flight. They had all boarded with the promise of a smooth journey across the Atlantic. Yet as the clock ticked towards the witching hour, something was stirring beneath the calm exterior of the aircraft. Alice, a young stewardess with piercing green eyes, was making her routine rounds. But tonight, the atmosphere felt different. It was thick with unease. As she neared seat 17B, occupied by an elderly gentleman named Mr. Harrington, she noticed his eyes were wide with fear. "Is everything all right?" Alice asked softly. Mr. Harrington's voice quivered. "There's something in the cargo hold. I heard scratching." Trying to reassure him, Alice forced a smile and nodded, unaware of the ominous truth she was about to unravel. Meanwhile, Ben, a brooding businessman, drowned himself in whiskey, oblivious to the rising tension around him. Across the aisle, a mother comforted her child, whispering lullabies into ears far too innocent to understand fear. Suddenly, the lights flickered. The airplane shuddered violently, rattling its inhabitants. A scream tore through the cabin, followed by a frigid draft that swept down the aisles. The captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, it seems we're hitting some turbulence. Please remain seated." But Alice knew this was something more sinister than mere turbulence. Determined to uncover the mystery, she quietly made her way towards the cargo area. Each step she took was weighed down by anticipation and dread. As she descended into the hold, the scratching grew louder, more insistent. Breathing shallowly, she opened the hatch, revealing a scene of chaotic shadows and overturned crates. In the dark corner, eyes glowing like embers fixed on her, a low growl resonated through the space, reverberating in her bones. Alice stumbled back, her heart racing. The creature, an amalgam of darkness and fury, began to emerge from the shadows. Panic erupted in the cabin as passengers felt the presence of something unnatural invading their sanctuary. Desperate, Alice fought to contain the terror within her own mind as the plane's altimeter began its deadly downward spiral. In a final act of bravery, she raced to alert the pilots, gripping the truth in her trembling hands. They were not alone on this flight. Will they survive this terrifying night and land safely? The clock ticks as fear spreads like wildfire, enveloping everyone in its icy grip.
Baseball players literally refuse to sleep alone at Milwaukee's Pfister Hotel because the ghosts are that aggressive. This isn't some made-up urban legend, we're talking about major league athletes who've had furniture moved across their rooms in the middle of the night. Michael Young woke up to footsteps stomping around his locked hotel room. Instead of running, he actually talked to the ghost, telling it to make itself at home but not to wake him up. The footsteps stopped immediately. Harper laid out his clothes on a table before bed. When he woke up, the clothes were on the floor and the entire table had been moved to the opposite wall. The door was still locked from the inside. He searched the room thinking someone broke in, but found nothing. Carlos Gomez heard voices and got out of the shower to find his iPod playing static, then watched it change songs by itself. He ran to the lobby without putting his pants on first. G-Man Choi says he's felt ghosts crawl into bed behind him and hug him while he slept. The craziest part is when Cardinals players Carlos Martinez and Marcell Ozuna both saw ghosts on the same night in 2018. They were so terrified they all slept together in one room, saying if the ghost showed up again, they'd fight it together. Built in 1893, the Pfister Hotel is considered one of America's most haunted locations. What makes these stories different is they're coming from professional athletes who have nothing to gain by lying about supernatural encounters. These guys would rather face a 100-mile-per-hour fastball than spend another night alone in that hotel.
In the heart of Portugal, shrouded in mist and local folklore, the Comenda Palace stands as a silent witness to history. Deep within its stone walls resonates the tragic tale of Ines Castro, a legendary figure intertwined with themes of forbidden love and vengeance. The palace, abandoned for centuries, whispers secrets of betrayal and passion. On pitch-black nights, its grand halls echo with the cries of the forlorn souls who once danced in joy and despair. The townsfolk speak in hushed tones of the ghostly figure of Inês, who roams the halls, seeking solace from her eternal sorrow. Prince Pedro, her true love, had been forbidden from marrying her due to her lower status and political tides that swirled around their royal family. Yet their love burned, clandestine and passionate, igniting the fury of Pedro's father, King Afonso IV. One fateful night in 1355, under the guise of darkness, the king ordered a secret assassination, and Inês was mercilessly killed at the idyllic Quinta das Lagrimas. Her blood stained the lands, leaving a mark on history. Enraged and heartbroken, Pedro sought a vengeance so dark and relentless that it painted his reign with blood. Once crowned King Pedro I, he hunted each conspirator, delivering justice with ruthless intent. Legend tells of his chilling decree to exhume Inês, a macabre ceremony to anoint her as queen posthumously. Her skeletal form was adorned in royal regalia, making her phantom presence even more potent in the palace's eerie corridors. Visitors, drawn by morbid curiosity, speak of shadowy figures glimpsed in the moonlit windows of Comenda Palace, their faces twisted in perpetual agony. Some hear whispers of a woman calling out for her lost prince. The tale of Ines Castro, emblazoned in Portugal's history, remains an eternal testament to the power of love and the depths of vengeance. Those who dare to explore the forlorn corridors of Comenda Palace may feel her chilling presence and hear whispers of a tragic heart forever yearning, forever lost.